All right, guys, welcome back to the Coach Cast. Now, today is a very special day as we have our first guest. I'm accompanied with Mike, and we will let you know who our guest is in just a second. Mike, how are you going?
I'm fantastic, Jackson. How are you today?
I'm really good, man. I'm really excited for this podcast.
I'm so fucking excited.
It's nice to have a guest on, bro. Just give me a quick update, bro. What's been happening with life? How's work? How's business?
Update on the week. Week has been, I've mentioned this to someone, it's been up and down this week. I think we've all had an up and down week with the weather, with the rain, clients cancelling, rescheduling, my own training, being indoors, outdoors. All in all, though, pretty happy with it. Especially training. Training's been on point this week. What about yourself?
Bro, can't complain. It's been a good week. Business is good. The weather has made me want to kill myself a little bit, but that's all right. The sun is back and we're all good.
You hit a couple of PBs this week?
Yeah, hit a 220 deadlift. So that was pretty good, but...
Should have been a double?
Should have been a double, yeah, but we'll go to 25 next week.
Done.
All right, like...
How's business?
Business is good, bro, but let's cut the small talk and let's get into this, because I know I can see him already. He wants to talk. He's hanging to talk.
Itching. So our guest for today on the Coachcast is none other than mentor, friend, brother Harre Baldwin. Welcome to the show.
It is good to be here.
Welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, HBPT is in the building.
All right.
Welcome to the Coachcast, friend.
Harry, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Boys, before I continue, I want to say a massive congratulations to you both for creating this, and I wish you both immense success in the future. You both put it out there, and you're making it happen. So for me, to you both, congratulations.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
That's probably going to be the nicest thing I'll say all day. So what's the first question?
So for everyone to know, so Harry is the personal trainer, coach at Bondi Fitness First, and we work with him, consider ourselves good friends, and he's also a good mentor of ours and has helped us a lot with our own business. So Harry is going to talk a lot today about surviving as a PT and building a business, and Mike is a testament to that, as he's helped, both of us build our business. Mike, you can go into that a little bit if you want.
Yeah, definitely. So essentially started with Harry from day dot. I can honestly say
day dot, man,
that without Harry, I would be half the PT I am now. So credit where credit is due. Harry has absolutely done an amazing job.
Appreciate you, bro.
I mean, not to toot my own horn, but he's done pretty good in terms of what I'm doing at the moment. We're essentially going to be talking about the business side of PT, new PTs, shit talking a whole bunch. Let's get into why you became a PT.
Good question. So pretty much I was essentially born into personal training. What I mean by that is both my parents were my mum was an aerobics champion for New Zealand during the late 80s and early 90s. My dad was a master trainer for Les Mills during the 90s and early 2000s. And he helped release Les Mills' Body Pump, Body Attack around the world. So I've been brought up. Yeah, man.
Wow.
I was brought up in gyms from a very early age. Some of my fondest memories are of me and watching my dad in Les Mills, Auckland. He used to have around 200 people in there on a Sunday afternoon. I used to come in and watch him, man. So I was about 5 or 6 when this was going on. And from there, man, I developed a very strong relationship. I felt very comfortable in gyms very, very quickly and very fast. And black and white, I really had it was born into me, and I tried to leave, and it pulled me back in, and here I am.
What do you mean by you tried to leave?
Mate, so I actually I've been with Fitness First since I was 19. It was my second job since I finished school, and I was in sales. I moved into management, and then got approached by Audi to go into selling cars, and mate, lasted 4 weeks.
Young Audi.
Mate, the Audi. Mate, I was painted this beautiful dream. 21, man, I was like, sign me up, and I lasted 4 weeks and then got made redundant. And I fell back into personal training because that's what I had against my name, as in Cert 3 and Cert 4. And I said to myself, I'll do PT for 12 months until I find myself a real job. And 6 years later, I'm still trying to find a real job. So here we are.
Just backing it up a little bit, I just want to ask you a quick question. So how did you feel going back into PT after being redundant, like as a business side, having to go back into something that you left behind and then coming back and have to start again?
It was interesting, man. I did sales for Fitness First, and then I worked into management, but I floated and I was training people on the side, but I never really took it seriously per se. And when I left Audi, I needed to make money fast. I was up to my debt. I think it was about at least 14 grand worth of debt. I had credit card bills. I was borrowing money off my parents. I think my dad gave me a 4 or 5 grand sort of bailout to sort of get me by. I was up to my debt, man, in debt, so I needed a job ASAP. A very good friend of mine, Jordan Sweeney, was working for a guy called Shane DaCosta in Bond Street. And I was like, mate, I need a job ASAP. And within about 10 weeks, I was back in the gym environment, back personal training. And yeah, man, like I said it was only going to be for a 12-month stint. I was just going to do a short little period until I found what I wanted to do. And yeah, very lucky that I found my passion in quite tough circumstances.
And you started at Bond Street, you said?
I was in Bond Street, man. I did 12 months in Bond Street under Shane and Miyagi, and then I moved to Bondi Platinum in October 2017, and I've been there since.
Cool. Awesome.
What a vibe.
What
a fucking vibe.
Okay, easy one for you. What do you love most about being a PT?
Oh man, there's lots. It's changing as I evolve as a coach, but it beats the paycheck, but there's nothing better than being part of someone's journey and seeing them go from A to B. I mean, it's all fine and well to get them to lose weight or gain whatever it could be, but generally being part of someone's process to make them a better, more confident, feel sexy, have some sort of swag about them in the gym. It beats the paycheck every day of the week. It's humbling, man, to be a part of someone's process 100%. And be a part of someone's journey, and to see them grow and evolve is, man, it's unbelievable.
Look, we can definitely relate to that as PT.
Man, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to be a part of, and to think that you have some sort of input as to how that can to run out, and you're sort of essentially in control of how their goal is going to be and how they're going to get to it is, man, it's touching.
For sure, man. And look, we've seen it happen. Like, we've seen you on the gym floor. We see it all the time. When Harry's in a session, like, you can see this as well, he's completely invested in the session. Nothing else matters. And, that's what you want in a PT. We've said this before, is that if you have a PT that is just like all over the shop and isn't invested in the client, then obviously that's not going to help.
You can tell there's literally, when Harry's in a session, there's all eyes on Harry. You know what I mean? You see that Harry's the PT in the gym. Yes, when he's in a session, you know that he's the PT in the gym.
Anyway, so moving on. What do you believe, more to the business side of things and just overall? What do you believe? He's getting serious.
Anal beads and no lube. Let's go.
What do you believe are the keys to being a successful personal trainer in this business?
It's a broad question, man. Perseverance, patience, consistency, dedication, hard work, education would be the pillars as what I would put down to. What I mean by that is...
Yeah, tell us more, bro. Go
so
into detail, man.
I think somewhere along the way, people forget that personal training, you are running a business. And what I mean by that is, for the first 0 to 3 to 4 years, you are hustling your fucking ass out every single day. What I mean by that is you're doing 50, 60, 70-hour weeks and getting paid sweet fuck all, but you are there building a business, building a brand, building a reputation, helping as many people as you possibly can, and being persistent to growing a brand and growing a business. I think that's lost somewhere along the way, and people forget about it. So that's, persistence and hard work. You need to be constantly educating yourself and upskilling and learning how to be the best coach. I mean, it's one thing to know how to train yourself. It's another thing to stay up to date with the science and relevance, correct cueing, correct correct coaching, and how to be the best coach on the gym floor to get the best result for your clients. And perseverance, man. Like, if I'm honest with you boys, I'm up to year 6. I'm coming up to year 6 in September this year, and this is probably my best year to date as a trainer. 5 years of blood, sweat, and tears, many tears, man. Last year was probably the massive turning point for my career personally, where I really understood what I could achieve and I put my head down to it. In year 6, I'm now coming into, I'm with you boys now. I've done men's health. I've done a shoot for fitness first. My clientele is changing. I've got Mike. I'm building a business. I'm building sort of my next platform per se. It's a game of, it's hard work and it's a long yard and it's a marathon. There's no race to personal training.
Yes, exactly. So we all know from Harry's Instagram that he's the first in and he's the last to leave.
Every day, man.
I believe there was a moment where you had someone hit you up on Instagram and kind of ask you like, how long does it take to build a successful PT business? And I believe your response was 4 to 5 years. And that person never messaged you back.
They never messaged me back, man.
So this is Harry, 6 years on, very successful. But like, I'm interested to know, I still believe you were successful in your first 12 months, but tell us about those 12 months that you were at like Bond Street, for example.
My question is, bro, to add to that is because what you said is this started off as something that was a part-time,
yeah,
or
man.
that was just like to pass the time while you found a real job. When did you flip that switch and be like, fuck, this is a business. I need to start acting like a business. Because we see a lot of these people come in the gym now and we see how they walk around and you know, we have this ongoing joke between each other. We're like, they'll last 4 weeks. And we all look at each other. We see a new PT in the gym and we're like, 4 to 6 weeks.
And then that guy never comes back.
Now, that was you, when did you realize that, okay, the 70-hour weeks, the 4 to 5 years, this is not going to be something that I can just half-ass?
It's a good question, man. I couldn't pinpoint the exact moment, but probably towards the end of my spell with Miyagi is when I understood, I found something that I was very naturally good at. It was personal training for me is very effortless. And what I mean by that is it comes very natural for me to coach and cue and be around people. It's not work for me. It's, you know, even my longest days, it's not work. So I guess very early, probably within my first 6 months of being with Miyagi and being under Shane, and God bless, man, I owe a lot of my success to that man. He taught me how to stand on my own 2 feet and really how to build a business from scratch. But probably about 6 months in, I was like, hold on a second, I've found something that I'm good at, and I'm going to run with it for as long as I can. And I left Bond Street and moved to Bondi Platinum. I took a massive jump, and I got to Bondi Platinum and I was like, shit, man. I was like, I'm way too deep here. I should have stayed at Bond Street. And I was with Shane. It was a mentor program. I was very safe and very secure.
So you were in the same position as what Mikey is?
Exact same,
yeah,
man.
Cool.
Yeah, man. And like I said, man, Shane taught me.
I have it very lucky from what I've heard.
Hey?
I've had it very lucky. The whole, Harry, it's 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. How many leads you got? You're not leaving until you get 2 more. I get that a little bit, but only sometimes I get that.
He's like, where's Harry?
I literally said the other day, I was like, Harry, tell me when Harry's on the balcony on the sled.
I want to go home. I'm tired.
But the Odyssey comes out. We'll chat on Monday. Look, Miyagi and Shane. Shane was the best in the game, mate, for almost 20 years, and there was a reason as to why. And he taught me work ethic very quickly, and he taught me some very harsh lessons. But he taught me what it would take to be a personal trainer. And a prime example was, it was a Friday afternoon. I think it was Thursday or Friday afternoon. I hadn't hit my numbers goal for the week in regards to getting the numbers off the gym floor. And he made me stay back and make sure I got those numbers. And that for me was a massive turning point, because I was like, well, if you want to be a good trainer and you want to be good in business, man, you've got to stick to your numbers. You've got to stick to your game. You've got to be sticking up and turning up every single day. And it taught me hard work very, very quickly. When I was 21, 22, in working in Australia's busiest fitness first at the time before COVID, hard work was ingrained to me very quickly. And then I applied to that in Bondi Platinum and boom, it took off.
All right, I have a question. This is where we get the juices flowing, I think.
Oh, shit, man.
What would be your opinion on the fitness industry at the moment and current personal trainers? Now, Harry, from
we need to divide that into two different. Let's just divide that into two different questions.
So there's two-part question. Let's just divide it into two. Your current opinion on the state of the fitness industry. Now, when we were speaking about this midweek, Harry's...
I haven't slept a week from this question.
Steam was coming out of Harry's ears from this question. And we'll ask about how he feels about the state of personal training in the industry after this. But if you guys have a spare 45 minutes, listen in.
Let me just pull up my notes quickly. So the first part. What's the current state? What do I think of the current...
state of the fitness industry?
I'm lucky that I got a good mate of mine. Nick Sally is a very good lawyer, so I'm protected with this question.
Now, just quickly, is this going to be from a business point of view?
let's go. Yeah, let's say that. So the first part was what I think of personal training in Australia right now. I think I think face-to-face training is in a lot of trouble. I think unless something is changed very quickly from the grassroots, and what I mean by that is from where they're receiving their certificates, their 3 and 4. If something is not changed dramatically, face-to-face personal training in Australia, I don't know what it's like globally, man, but 85% fail in the first 12 months. I mean, 85% of trainers nationwide fail in the first 12 months. I mean, that's just fucking disgusting. I mean, like, like being really blatantly honest, like, what the fuck, man? It may, oh,
Get into it.
how? Like, I actually don't understand. Like, how do you fucking fail? How do 85% of personal trainers fail in the first 12 months? I mean, you got to go back to the grassroots where they're getting, they're getting their cert 3 and 4. I mean, that needs to change fucking SAP.
Yeah. Do you think it's a cert 3 and 4 issue, or do you think it's a mentoring from once they get their cert 3 and 4, like after that?
I think it's a combination of both, man. I think the cert 3 and 4, well, I did my cert 3 and 4 nearly almost 8 years ago, and from memory there's no, I mean, they teach you how to squat and deadlift and how to talk to Mary on the gym floor and Joseph and how to communicate, but they don't teach you how to run a fucking business.
Yeah.
What's being forgotten in personal training is that you are running a small business. You are a sole trader. Sets and reps is irrelevant. I mean, how are you going to generate business? How are you going to create income? How are you going to pay for rent? How are you going to pay for bills? How are you going to pay for your school kids? How are you going to pay for A, B, C, and D? The list goes on. It's the curriculum is outdated by 20, 30, 40 years, and unless that's not redone ASAP, personal training face-to-face isn't a big problem, man, because, man, these online motherfuckers are coming for us left, right, and center.
I can speak for, I think, Jackson and myself. There was zero face-to-face with my course.
Oh yeah.
So I can imagine. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have yourself with me, but if I was to just go straight and apply for the next best gym, fucking, I'd have Buckley's.
Yeah,
Go.
I learned more training with you as a client
Definitely.
than I did in my cert 3 and 4.
See, man, that's fucked up, man. And I tell you, like,
And I'm 100% in the same boat when I was training with yourself as well.
like you're as a personal trainer, you are dealing with people's general health, physical health, mental health, general well-being, their whatever issues they're currently facing with their life, whatever circumstances, injuries, whatever it may be, prenatal, postnatal, divorce, you name it. I've done it. I mean, how is that not fucking important? I mean, like, to be a lawyer takes 10 years. To be a doctor takes 10 years of study. Now, I'm not saying the personal training is 10 years of study, but I think it needs to be greater in depth on how to maintain, hold, and be a fucking coach. I mean, like, anyone can have anyone can have a piece of paper that says, I am a qualified personal trainer, but motherfucker, no, you're not. You know how to count sets and reps. You'll be out the door within 3 months. You'll be back doing whatever you were doing prior.
Something that I guess Mikey and I go on about a lot is that there's a difference between a personal trainer and a coach.
Mate, the difference between a Toyota and a Lamborghini.
Yeah, exactly. So what we like to do is we like to say is that the personal trainers are the ones that don't succeed, and the coaches are the ones that do succeed.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Couldn't agree anymore.
And would you say that, like, people who become PTs are like, they think of personal training as something like, as not to say that getting a trade is like a fallback thing, but like how it was for you, it was for something that you were like, this is not something that I'm going to stick around and doing, so why should I put a lot of effort in?
Then I mean, I'm going against what I just said, but then you shouldn't be given a cert 3 and 4, man. Dealing with someone's physical, mental, general health is fucking important. I don't know how that isn't important. That's just as important as looking after someone's finances, someone's will, a surgeon. I mean, like, it's important shit. Like, it's not a joke. And I mean, I'm sort of going back on what I just said, because I was like, I'll be in the industry for 12 months and I'll get out. But like I said, there needs to be some sort of regulation that you're coming in and you've got someone's life in your hands. Like, people look up to you and they listen to you, and if you're telling them the nutrition guidelines and training guidelines and sleeping and supplement, whatever they're doing, 9 times out of 10 they're going to follow you to the death. Mm. That's important shit, man.
Definitely. Imagine like someone comes to you, they in their head they've tried everything. I've tried to lose weight by myself, I can't do it. They finally mask up the courage to get a coach, and then that coach is dog shit.
Well,
and then this
95%
person's going to be like,
time that's the case.
Well, this
Fucking
person-
case,
People
bro,
come to
man.
us
this
and they-
person's going to go to this, be like, if this coach can't help me, then who can?
Yeah, and most of the time people come to us and they have those issues. They don't know how to do anything. They've tried everything. They've tried keto. They've tried whatever the fuck it might be, and we're their last resort. And I mean, as Harry's saying, most of the time they just fucking drop the ball, and you need to change that. Otherwise,
Mate, it has to be a change, man. I don't know if the study needs to be in depth or it takes a longer to get your cert 3 and 4, or I mean, I'd love to sit down with whoever and throw some ideas around, but it needs to change. I mean,
Harry sit down would be it's a fucking disgrace.
whoever the fuck wrote this, you guys need to go back to fucking IT and stay there. Like, do not come back to this is my house. It needs to change, man. Otherwise, face to face is in grave danger, man. I mean, online, there's coaches out there making a lot of money. Face to face is in a very interesting place, man. I think COVID's cleared out a lot as well. A lot of trainers left the industry for a variety of reasons. It's in a reborn stage, it's in a rebirth stage, but I think it needs to be done correctly and things need to change.
I mean, you kind of touched on it before, but you said you'd have a sit down and you'd make some change. What would those changes be?
There needs to be greater in depth on what your duty, responsibility, and obligation as a trainer.
What are you required to do?
Mate, fuck the squat, fuck the deadlift, fuck the bench press. No, it's completely irrelevant. That's just sets and reps. Coming to dealing with someone that could be some sort of mental illness. Maybe they've had a really bad experience with the trainer before. Could be whatever it may be. You need to understand. You need to be equipped with the necessary skills on how to help this person become better or achieve whatever it may be, or help them do A, B, C, and D. That's part number one. Part number two is you got to teach these guys and girls how to run a fucking business. Like I said to you 3 or 4 times now, personal training is a business, man. You're a small business. There needs to be greater in depth on how to generate business. What does that look like? How to approach people on the gym floor? How to do your tax return? How to, necessary systems in place for a sales presentation? How do you retain your clients? How are you touching base with your clients? I mean, the list can go on and on and on. It needs to be broken into sort of 3 or 4 parts: business side of things, coaching and cueing, and longevity as a trainer. That's what I would sort of nail it down to.
All right, awesome. I'm going to put that little question on hold and come back to something for a minute. Now, Harry, you mentioned that this year has been one of your best years as a trainer. You had a few feats.
Yes.
First one being a men's health article.
Yes.
The second one being you've done a little tutorial for Fitness First and the magazine. And the third one is now you've featured on the Coachcast.
Mate, what an honor.
Tell us about. Let's
Joe Rogan, give me a call.
That's
844
100%. A Coach Cast is number one.
Mate,
Yeah, like, let's
100%.
talk about
men's health.
the second and third one for a minute. Let's put Coachcast to the side. Tell us about your men's health mag. The men's health article and your
man.
Fitness First feature.
Very humbling. Sort of Fitness First, I've noticed I've been jumping on my stories for the last 6 months. Put up a post maybe about 4 months ago via Twitter that I put on my gram that was quite short and sweet, and it was sort of going off my biggest mistakes with training, and Fitness First liked it, passed it on to Men's Health, and Men's Health asked me to write up an article and about the 6 biggest mistakes with my training. And it was published about a month ago, man. It was very humbling and very cool. And
Did you mention about how you speak to the equipment every morning?
No, man. And we kept it as professional as I possibly could.
So for anyone that doesn't know, Harry likes to...
Yeah, I'm fried, man. I'm
at
completely
5:30 in the
fried.
morning, before anyone's in the gym, maybe like 5:15, Harry's sitting down on the seated cable row and saying, "Hey brother, how you doing? How's your morning?"
Then the 4 a.m. starts to get to you eventually, man. And I feel like the last 12 months, my 4 a.m. starts have finally gotten the best of me.
Build a successful business, but start speaking to the equipment.
Yeah, man. You just lose your friends. You start talking to machinery. It's a slippery slope down to the
Whatever
bottom.
keeps you sane and keep you going. That's you.
That's
Oh gosh! All right, so we're going to come back to a little question here. COVID has obviously changed the industry massively.
Yep.
Let's touch on that in a second, but let's speak about how did you change your business and around COVID, and what did you do differently to adjust?
What did I do differently to adjust?
I mean, you went outdoors, right?
Man, I was outdoors, Queen's Park.
I was there every
Mike
Saturday.
was there Saturday mornings, man.
I was fucking
I was
vibe.
not there. Oh, this
Mate.
was before I was even in the picture.
It was a
Mate,
vibe. Saturday morning.
mate, when the sun was out, it was beautiful.
degrees.
Wait, were you
Celsius?
guys? Were you mentoring at that time?
No, Mike
No.
was a client.
Oh,
yeah.
This is when I was. This was when I was I was still a tradie in those 3 months at the gym.
Really?
Closed.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So I had to make Harry come in on a Saturday morning just for me.
Yeah, Harry. Saturday morning, just for me. Yeah.
I was watching a video. I was scrolling through my phone the other day, and I see Harry. I was at Queen's Park. It's 9 o'clock session time. So Harry's driving up and down Queen's Park trying to find parking.
Mate, those boot camp motherfuckers were doing my head in, man. I had no discredit to boot campers, but mate, you guys take up far too much car parks.
Yeah. So how did you change your business?
It wasn't so much change, man. I think it was more the word was adapt. So obviously gyms closed, and I took everything outside. I had clients that I was training at home. I had clients I was training in garages, on the streets, in Queen's Park. If anything, COVID was a blessing because COVID taught me how to hustle.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, I was at Queen's Park for X amount of sessions. I'd drive to Dover Heights. I'd drive back to Coogee. I'll be doing sessions here, there. Whatever I could do to make $1, this is exactly what I was doing, man. And I was probably working just as hard, driving all over the place. But yeah, all it did was just teach me to adapt, man. I actually had to go back to the books to understand what I could do with kettlebells and dumbbells and bands. I mean, I didn't have the luxury of machines and heavy weights, and I had to make sure that, you know, clients were still able to achieve and feel good in a particular way. So it was good, man. It taught me how to hustle. It also taught me to go back to the books and get my head, you know, back in the game as to what I could do with lighter weights and be a bit more smarter and technical with less equipment.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm
wow.
pretty much a testament to that as well. Like, I was obviously a part of that journey, and it was actually pretty cool to see because I remember the week prior to the gyms reopening, Harry had pretty much his business ready to rock and roll.
Man, my team was ready to roll, man.
That second that gym reopened, Harry was on, and he's all these trainers like struggling and complaining, doing this and that, and I guess Harry kind of just took the positives out of it and just ran with it.
I mean, bro, like, fuck, that got me. It's your client. Like,
Yeah, bro.
Watching your stories during lockdown, man, I was fucking sitting at home playing Call of Duty. Like, I was sitting at home. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to train. And, bro, I was, like, as everyone was during COVID, like, they didn't know what to fucking do with themselves. Everyone was a little bit down. And as soon as those gyms opened, I fucking reached out to you. And,
Yeah, bro.
And that's how we started. And then I got the job like a couple of weeks later. I'm still
waiting for my commission by that as well, man. So I sent that invoice
I was
over.
like, yeah, Harry. I kind of want to work here.
It was very well done. It was very well done. About a month in,
smooth.
it was very smooth, man.
He played it perfectly.
No. I was
Played it
smart.
perfect.
'Cause I
Twice a week, beautiful.
Yeah.
Bought me a coffee.
I remember how you found out I was a PT and you're like, oh yeah, why don't you come here? I waited for him to say. I was trying not to bring it up. I was like, why don't you come here? I'm like,
Okay.
that's not a bad idea, eh? I was like, can you speak to the manager for me?
Funny you say that. I actually have my resume on it right here.
I start Monday.
All right. Okay, so how do you feel the fitness industry has changed due to COVID? Now, you obviously spoke on there's a lot of positives that come out of it. Us as trainers and coaches had to kind of find new ways to use dumbbells, new ways to use limited amount of equipment.
Yeah, man.
Some great things have come of that, for sure. Tell us about some of the things you've noticed that's changed because of COVID.
What's changed from personal trainers? I definitely think there is more of a appreciation for gyms. I think that's the biggest thing that I've seen. I don't think any trainer or any fitness enthusiast would take a gym for granted ever again.
Yep.
I mean, people still don't train with fucking towels and all that shit. But as an overall, I mean, like, majority of trainers seem a lot more appreciative for what they have. And, I'll never take a barbell and a machine for granted ever again because, mate, being at Queen's Park at 5 a.m. on a Monday morning with a resistance band and a kettlebell was fucking
I still
rough
remember
fun.
I still remember the day Mitch he built his own squat rack out of timber. He was wheeling and dealing those around.
Man, I did 3 months of training in my garage, man, and to give you an idea, my garage was on a slight stance. It was on a slight incline as well, man. So my knees were cooked after that, but at least I was able to train.
So
man.
it's the strength area in Bondi hasn't changed.
Man, what a vibe, man.
Me personally, I remember watching Harry's stories, and this motherfucker had like 200 kilos worth of weights, and I was sitting there with 40 kilos on a barbell, like, this sucks. What can I do with this?
I was lucky, man. My partner at the time got me some weights. My brother made me a squat rack. A very good friend of mine, Musa, gave me some dumbbells, and essentially I had this little portable gym that if I didn't have that, man, I would have been in, fuck, who knows.
The Corona killer, we used to call him.
Corona would have had me, man, by the balls. But
I can't get the image of your car boot opening and you just...
Glen 20.
Yeah. And he'd have a towel around his head like this fucking...
If I was able to come up with a clone, I'd have to somehow include Glen 20 in that somehow to say thanks to COVID.
Oh, that's too much.
Calvin Klein, fake Glen 20.
Okay, so back to like more so being in the gym. So
Yep.
everyone knows you in the gym for having the most sessions and being the busiest PT in the gym. That's just a fact. That's not tooting your horn. You probably are. You most definitely are the busiest PT in the gym. Now, my question is: do you think that, or how would you, for that matter, how have you adjusted to having so many sessions and maintaining the quality of the session itself? Because yes, the sets and reps
man.
don't matter, but
Yep.
you know, when you've got someone who comes to you with the problems of a divorce or whatever,
Yep.
and that one person matters, but you got 35 of them a week or
Yep.
40 of them a week, how
Yep.
do you manage that?
It's a lot of double espressos, man. It's a lot of double
Character
espressos.
building.
No, you know what it is, man. And I don't mean this from a bullshit area, but like I said to you at the start, personal training for me is not a job. There's so much passion and love for what I do that even on my days when it's, you know, Friday 4 p.m, 5 p.m in the afternoon, there's nothing else that I'd want to be doing. I mean, I had another client to me a couple of weeks ago. She said to me, you know, would you still do personal training if you wouldn't get paid? And I was like, 100% I would. Like, why wouldn't I? Like,
yeah.
it's so ingrained in me, and I have so much love for what I do that I thoroughly love it. It's such a passion that I'm able to help someone do A, B, C, and D. It's humbling, man. And to be a part of the process is even better. And, you know, you're right, man. Like some of those days, man, like to give you guys a perspective, last year, I checked my numbers. So from August to just the end of November, I was averaging 54 sessions a week.
Fuck.
Which
That's a lot of sessions for anyone that doesn't know
it
that.
drove me into the ground to December. December, I was very close to a breaking point. But during that time, I first of all, I was obviously doing something right to maintain it, but I came from such a place of love and willing to help that I think that's what sort of got me from you know, tired to, you know, man, it's go time, let's get going. You know, it was cool, man. It's hard to explain. If anyone out there and you boys can probably understand, but if anyone out there that's, you know, has their passion, has their work, it's really not a job. Like it's not, man. 4 a.m. starts are tough, man.
Definitely.
8 p.m. finishes are tough, but when you love what you do, it's an easy game.
Yeah, for sure. Like when we're all on the gym floor, man, like
It's a fucking vibe,
it's
man.
good. Like
It's like
a Wednesday,
4
Thursday
a.m.
night. Like it's good. Like we all get to work. We all look like fucking death has eaten us. But like we come
Mate,
in, we
nothing
get
a little
it.
bit of foundation can't fix, man.
Yeah, and we get in our sessions, and once we get flowing in the first session, it usually you come good. Like
oh yeah, man.
it's good, especially if you got like someone who you really get along with first session. Like I know you do. You train like a couple of your boys in the morning, and you really get a flow going, and it just the tiredness doesn't matter.
The day
anymore.
flows, man. I mean, like at the end of the day, like as a trainer, you have first of all, you can be honest, and if you don't gel with someone, you know, you can pass them on to another trainer in which you think their personality may, you know, best suit them. But, you know, you have the ability to control your book. I mean, you have the ability to train, you know, who you want. And, you know, making sure that, you know, your clients and you are in a good place is crucial, man, to making sure that, you know, those long days they flow really well, you know?
One thing I remember when I was your client is that you'd text me every single day.
Yeah,
And,
man, I love that shit.
I actually really, really like that, and I probably put it into my business as well. I try and text my clients every day.
I love that shit, man.
Gives me fucking anxiety, but but you know, like again, it makes people. It puts the personal in personal training.
Mate, it takes it from a Toyota to a Lamborghini. You know, and exactly what you just said, bro. It takes it from, you know, a coach to, this is a personal relationship, and I'm here on a personal level to not only be here in the gym, but also be outside and walk you through your journey outside the gym. You know, that's personal training 101. You know.
Yeah, and something that I know that I say to my clients, and I know you would too. You would have to as well. Is that, you know, if you have that relationship and you're speaking to them before they come into the gym, and you know that they've had a shit day before they even get in, that's going to adjust the session. You're not hitting a 1RM that day.
Oh yeah, bro.
You're not hitting a volume PB that day.
No, absolutely.
We're probably gonna fucking maybe go to just get an arm pump or something like that.
Man.
You know what I mean? And that's the personal training for sure.
But I love that. Respect.
Mikey, you want to ask a question?
This is actually a question that I have been asked by other people as well as myself, and we've actually experienced this as well. This is trying to. This is an easy one, very simple one. Trying to balance obviously your own training with doing your sessions. I get multiple questions. How the fuck does Harry have so much energy at 7 o'clock at night when he's been in from 4:30, 5 o'clock? How do you have so much energy? How do you balance that?
You got to practice what you preach, my brother. Hashtag HPPT. I'm a big believer that if I'm on the gym floor and I've got clients at 5:30 or 6:30 and they're 6:30 p.m., 5:30 a.m. and they're coming in and they're practicing it and I'm preaching it, then the same thing applies to me, man. It's just self-discipline. You know, you're a product of, as personal training, you are your product. And if I'm going to sit there and coach you through it, then I believe deep down that I need to be applying the exact same work ethic, if not more than you, to be able to coach you through it. I mean, how can I tell you to do something when I don't practice it myself? That's fucking theft. It's fraud.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that you would have given your clients that you haven't tried.
100, no way in hell. No way, absolutely. No, yeah, for sure. Like, last night, for example, I did yesterday was Thursday. I did 12 sessions yesterday. I got to City Gym about 6:45, and I banged that workout after doing 11 hours of PT. I did an hour session afterwards, and reason why is because A, I ran out of time during the day, but B, also training's important to me. But C, I was like, well, hold on a second. My team just put in the hours. I'm the coach. I've got to do the exact same thing. So there I was paying my rent, man. 7 p.m. Let's go.
Rent is due.
Rent is fucking due.
Yes. Rent's due.
And so, like, continuing on that and that mindset of that, you practice what you preach.
Yep.
You put in the work like your clients do.
Yep.
Now, something that I guess we don't see is those new PTs who don't maybe do those things or have that mindset yet. What's the advice you could give them to change that mindset? And that's more of a broad question as well, because
and I guess any new trainers that might be looking to start in the business, any advice?
and what I mean from that is, like,
do not enter.
Like, we know that the Cert 3 and 4 isn't good. We know that they don't really start with a good run.
No.
So how could you change their mindset to, hey, PT isn't just something you do just because you post Instagram videos. It's a business. It's a lifestyle. How would you give that advice?
Respect the jersey. and I explain. Not many people know this, but I'm actually going to share this with you boys right now. But this is one thing that I do just before I sort of start my day. I'm a proud Kiwi. I'm a very proud All Black. And as any Kiwi, young boy, your dream is always to be an All Black. Obviously, I never was. But
the size of one.
Just genetically gifted. Just before I put on my PT jersey, I always have this little flash of what it would be like to put on an All Black jersey and run out for a test match. I think about this every single morning when I get up, man. That's literally what gets my fucking heart like racing. And the minute I put on that jersey, I think about the trainers that have come before me. I think about the work that's been done, who I've been taught by. It's respect to the jersey, it's respect to the job, it's respect to yourself as a trainer, as a coach. And man, that's the shit that gets my juices fucking flowing at 4:30 in the morning, That and a lot of coffee.
Who would be, if anyone, any trainer that you kind of were inspired by?
Oh, there's a list, man. I was Shane DaCosta, David Welsh, Dane McDonald, Amanda Shepherd, Michelle Bridges.
Yeah, true.
I mean, like, you know, you look at personal training 10 years ago, man. You had fucking gladiators, man. I'm talking these motherfuckers that were working 40, 50, 60. Man, David Welsh, from memory, his PB is 70 sessions in a week. I mean, that shit's just fucking unheard of these days. 70 sessions in a week. These motherfuckers out there doing 20 sessions a week going, I'm tired. Motherfucker, fuck off. Like, tired from fucking what? Like, what have you done?
How did he do 70 sessions?
Mate, if anyone that knows Dave Welsh is a fucking power horse, man. I think him and Dane McDonald back in his prime, from what I've heard, was like 65 plus. Dave was banging out 70 a week, man. Like, it's gladiator work, man. Boys, you know, Sam Carron from City Gym, Paul Haslam, man, all those boys are the exact same. They had this work ethic and discipline and respect to the game it's fucking faded, man. It's fading very, very, very quickly.
Yeah, and look, people could listen to this podcast and think, like, you know, we're all talking shit. Like, this job is just
not at all, man.
This job is PT, but like, this is look, it is. It's a hard job, and we're also not sitting here and crying wolf. Like, you know, you got to be a fucking, you got to be like some special person to be a PT, but it's just like any other job. You wanna be a good plumber, or you wanna be a good doctor. You got to put in the hours. You got to put in the work.
Fucking oath, man.
I think what goes wrong in the fitness industry is that because it is so broad, it's so open, it's become so saturated as of the recent due to social media and the internet. It's lost its respect. And it's like, you know, how many times have you had people come to you as a client and tell you how do you do your job when that doesn't happen in any other day? Because as we've said before, the gym is our office. It's like we don't go into a doctor's office and we don't tell them how to do surgery. But, you know, I think that's where the respect has been lost.
Yeah, man.
And I don't know, you could agree with me or not.
No, I completely agree, man. I think I don't know where the chain has broken, but like I said, man, the respect for the game has been lost, man, and people just aren't taking it seriously like they used to. Like, I'm not saying that as very broad, and there's some phenomenal and amazing trainers out there, but I think there's a lot of them that are coming through that just don't have the respect for the gig, man. And if that's you, and you're not taking it seriously, not taking someone else's health seriously, then that's fine. But maybe PT is not for you. Maybe you should be at you know, Coles or Woolworths or something. But no respect, man. I love Woolworths. Everyone knows me that I love Woolworths, but you know, get my basket or something.
We all know we love Son of a Baker and Woolworths. Definitely.
Son of a Baker, level 3 at Bondi Junction.
And
love
Lux,
you guys.
Lux.
Okay. Let's take a short break on shitting on trainers and the industry for a second. Let's talk more kind of hands-on.
Yeah, let's go.
How would you approach? We speak a lot about Gen Pop culture.
Yep.
What is your approach on training absolute beginners, newbies?
Get them comfortable ASAP.
How would you say you would be doing that? What's your methods?
First of all, I get them into a quieter zone. Now, we're very blessed at Bondi Platinum. We have the stretching zone. We also have that front room when you first walk in. Let's be honest, man. Like, Bondi Platinum, I think we forget about. It's a very intimidating gym, man.
Yeah,
it's a very intimidating gym.
Episodes.
A lot of my female clients that I get sort of walk in and they're like, holy fuck. Even like my first time my male beginners, they're like, holy shit, man. There's like bright lights. Well. There's fucking good. There's people around. There's guys lifting X amount of weights. There's, you know, this girl's deadlifting, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot. So as a coach, you suss out, you know, how they're feeling and get them into a quieter zone. If we're very blessed with Bondi, we've got outdoors, we've got that little stretching area, that front room. Get them comfortable on how they move, and, you know, within, you know, a month to 2 months, if it's 3 months, then you can slowly progress them. But comfortable and confident is crucial in those first few weeks, and not pushing anything too hard on them too soon, because, man, they'll run for the hills. And, you know, we all know that health and fitness is very important. You want them to, you know, stay with you, but then also to be confident in them to come in and do it themselves in years to come.
Do you think also being like, we're pretty all outspoken, high energy guys, like, do you feel like you have to be very personable when it comes to certain intimidated clients and newcomers and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, so if someone came to me and I was very introverted and couldn't really, you know, it would be very hard to take that person out of their comfort zone, or kind of make them feel comfortable. Sorry.
You've got to come. You've almost got to come. This is something that David Welsh taught me when I first got the Bondi. But you've got to match people's energies, and like we're right, man. I mean, I fire on 8 fucking cylinders all day, every day. You boys do the exact same thing, man. I mean, like we go 24/7. But you get those clients, and I have a few, man. Where you just got to bring your energy right back down to their level to make sure, to be on an equal playing field, and let them rise above you, and then when they rise, you can come with them, kind of thing. It's a matching game. God bless. I have a client. When I first met him, very, very shy dude. Would like to sit in the corner of the gym, light weights. Spoke very down on himself, doubted himself a lot. I've been with him now for about 2.5 years, and now the guy walks through the gym like he's fucking King Kong. It's dope, man. Jumps on the bench press like we're benching today. I'm like, whoa, motherfucker, we're squatting. But anyway, it's cool. But you've got to just walk them through that journey of building the confidence and the swagger that they know that the gym is their home, and it's their place to come in and do their thing, and no one's going to cast judgment, because at the end of the day, man, like in that place, like no one gives a fuck what you're doing.
Yeah.
And people are so scared about other people's opinions, but like it's just opinions. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Literally.
Look,
fuck them.
Fuck them all.
Fuck them all. I do not give a flying fuck. Sorry, mum.
Look, like, for sure. Like, it's not everyone's gonna be like us. Not everyone's gonna be so high energied and.
Man, we're cooked. I mean, we're not normal. None of us are normal. I mean, who enjoys like
on the gram, and we've got fucking Ibiza Tech Tunes playing in the members lounge. Fucking, we've got the tunes going. Mate, this is 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
If you were to walk past us in the gym, you probably wouldn't think we run any business.
No way.
Let alone successful.
These 3 guys just walk around all day, every day. It's true, man.
I got a really good. I got a great question. What does the great HBPT do in his downtime?
Oh, what a vibe!
I'll give you the G-rated version, because I still need a job for Monday, so I just play PlayStation. No, look, man, it's it really depends. Depends on how big the week's been. I've got a very close group of friends. I love a good coastal walk. I love training by myself.
He loves Mateo's.
I love Mateo. Kai and Gav, love you boys.
Marcelleria.
Yeah, that place is,
shout out,
mate. Love you guys as well. Who else can I give a quick shout out to? Kit Kat, Snickers. Massive thanks to Mars Bar as well. Woolworths, love you guys. Son of a Baker, thanks very much. Yeah, downtime, man, is exactly that. I thoroughly, I don't know what you boys are like, but I spend all week with people. On my weekends, I like to spend time by myself, or even just with 1 or 2 people. Not too many. I need time to just catch my breath, reset, have a little breather, and then I know come Monday morning it's go. But that's how I love it, man. That's cool with me. I'll never say no to a party, and there's nothing wrong with getting home at 6 a.m. as the birds are rising. Just got to make sure that you sleep the 12 hours that day brings. That is all I'll say. And I also love a holiday, man. I think, working to travel is key, man. And trying to get away as much as you possibly can to explore the beautiful world that is, man, is key.
Yeah, I think something that you do, which I mean, we couldn't do it much now because of COVID, but I'm trying to adopt, and I know Mikey would too, is that you actually take a lot of time off.
Yeah, man, 100%.
Yeah, before COVID, you were holidaying every 2 months.
The motto is every 12 weeks I'm out of there. Bang.
Yeah.
Bang.
Okay.
Bang.
And is that just to reset?
That is to reset, man. But it also, man, I like to work off. I like to work off goals, and I know that I'm going to come in and I'm going to have a 12-week block. I'm going to work my fucking ass off, and then I'm going to have a week or 10 days or whatever it may be to unwind, relax, do whatever I want to do, and it's rewarding, but it motivates me to come in and work my fucking ass off to a point where that in 12 weeks time, I know deep down that I've done everything that I possibly could in 12 weeks, that I now deserve to catch my breath, you know?
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, we spoke about this on previous shows. We like to discuss like a day in the life of a PT, and things that we do to get ready for a day. Now, everyone knows the old journal at 4 a.m.
Mate, it's got to be
and
done.
Meditation.
Gratitude is key.
I think I ask myself this every day. How the fuck does he do that? Tell us about how you get in that mindset.
It's
mate.
It's all about habits, but talk to us about how you've done that for. Literally can't remember how long.
I think I'm coming into year 3 or 4 now, to be honest. And how did it come about? I read. it was the Miracle Morning I read that talks about how to win the first hour you get out of bed. Now there's very successful people that don't do it, but for me, I like structure and routine, and it's allowed me to become very goal focused. Even on my tired days, writing down what I actually want to achieve in that day gives me that extra. Again, you're just kicking yourself off the backside to make sure that you're going into that day and you're going to attack it at 100%. How do I do it? It's habit for me, man. It's worked. I've seen it work, so I keep going back at it. For me now, I've been meditating now for almost 12 months, and that's been fucking game changing for me, man. Someone that's running off all those cylinders, to sit still by myself at 4:30 in the morning and sit and be present and be thankful for what I have has changed my game immensely.
All right.
It's still fucking hard, but I enjoy it.
Well, look, I've definitely adopted it, man. Like, fuck,
but
yeah,
failed.
like we both. I mean, I've kept going, and I definitely think it's helped my business. Like, focus, just everything, bro.
Bro, like, you got to think, man. Like, you're up at 4 a.m. in the morning. By the time I get to the gym at 5:30, I'm an hour and a half ahead of the sun. That's literally how I think. I'm like, the sun hasn't even risen, and I'm fucking an hour and a half ahead of that motherfucker. And the sun goes down at like 6:37, and I'm still beating that motherfucker. You can't fucking beat me. Not even the sun can beat me. You know? Fuck, that was cool, man. Did we actually record that part? That was dope.
Yeah, you can clip it and post it. Don't worry.
He's an easy one, but it might take you a while to think of this one. Tell us about like your favorite day as a PT, or your favorite moment, favorite memory. I'm sure there's been plenty, but can you narrow it down?
Probably when he works with us.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's been a lot, man.
Refunds?
There's to give you guys an understanding, I've had Mike under me. We've just clocked in 28 weeks together, part of the under HPPT, and Mike he loves a refund. This bloke. I give him a terms and conditions, and he goes against it. It's a vibe. It's great.
Yeah, his terms and conditions literally say no refunds.
Yeah, but
and Mike goes
at least once a month.
Can we do a refund? Did 2 this morning.
When he sits down and goes, "Mate, how are you?" I just know something's coming, because he never asks me how I am. He does.
Anyway, your favorite memory other than refunds?
My favorite memory would be there's a few, man. Let's just say in regards to PT, for anyone that knows Bondi Platinum very well, there was a group called the Coffee Club. Dave Welsh, Damien, Massa, Aurelian, and Amanda. And when I first got to Bondi Platinum in 2017, I noticed this thing that would go around every morning, and they would go out every day would be a different person to go get coffees. And I said to Dave, I was like, I want to get part of this elite group, man. Like, it was cool with like all the cool trainers, and I was like, I want to be one of them. And another good trainer of ours, Val, packed his bags and moved down to open up a restaurant in Jindabyne, and there was a spot that became available. And I've been about 6 months into Bondi Platinum. I was still trying to earn my stripes. And one day, Dave and Amanda pulled me aside, and they're like, "We think you're ready." And I was like, "What for?" And they're like, "Look, you're in the coffee club." And I literally nearly broke down in tears. I thought like I literally made it. Anyway, my Monday was my day, and I walked downstairs and I go get the order. I came upstairs, man. I felt like fucking Mike Tyson, man. I was like, any motherfucker in my way, I'm part of the coffee club. Fuck yous all, man. So that was cool, man. That was like, that for me was a massive turning point into, going into a gym like that. I now knew that I had the respect, and I was being watched by the top dogs, and it gave me this sense of keep doing what you're doing, but also made sure that I was constantly improving to make sure that I was on the same level as these guys, to be the best, and to make sure I was still giving them my Monday morning coffees.
I love how that all led up to I was able to get them coffee.
Mate, it was the best.
Coffee is life.
I used to walk around like I was giving out coffees. It was like fucking gold chains, and I was looking at everyone else like,
I still get that feeling every morning when it's my turn to go get us 3 coffees. I'm like you just go.
You walk in like God.
Yeah,
God. 100%.
And you look at the smiles that you get back. It's like, that just made my day.
Musa used to do backflips, man. They actually I used to give Musa a coffee, man. Even some days he'd like hug me. He'd look at me like he'd start crying. It was I felt like, you just feel like Jesus, like, son, I have you. It's okay.
You basically give them a personality.
Yeah, man. I'm no
Here
good.
Here is your morning.
Yeah. Here is your day. This is on me. The second, so that would be one. The next part is, especially in the last sort of 12 months, last 18 months, my business has become a lot more female orientated, which has been amazing. And I have a star client. She's become a very good friend of mine. She's an amazing human being. And she actually said to me a couple of weeks ago, she's like, we're talking about weights and training. I was like, how do you actually find things? And she goes to me, my only regret with this is that I hadn't started sooner. And I was like, that's just fucking cool, man. Because how many females particularly are scared of a barbell and weights? And here's this amazing woman, 2 kids, she's pushing through, and she turns around and she goes to me, I just wish that I started sooner. I was like, man, that's dope to know that I've been able to have some sort of input as to how you not only view yourself, but also view training, it's... And then that's just the list goes on, man. I mean, like there's so many. I've had one client. She lost there's 25 kilograms in over 12 months. I mean, weight loss is amazing, but the biggest part for me is when they turn around to you and they just like thank you, and you're like, oh, what for? And like, you've literally changed my life.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, man. That's like you sit back and you're just like, damn. Like I've done that.
Yeah, for sure, bro. It's awesome.
It's touching, man.
Leading on to that as well, that was my next question. We obviously have the privilege of changing people's lives. I think you've done over 10,000 hours of coaching.
Yeah, man. Face-to-face
coaching. So this is going to be a difficult one for you to pinpoint. You've obviously mentioned helped someone lose 25 kilos. Is there anything, one of your most proudest moments in terms of helping a client achieve X, Y, and Z? Like, for example, prepping them for a wedding, something like that?
Ooh, I should have brought on my memory undies. I'm only wearing my white sea case today. Man, it's a broad question. There's been many clients over the years, but who would be the fuck. It's a broad question, man. There's been
so many.
There's been many, man.
Would you say Mike's before and after?
Mike's before and after was actually fucking epic, man.
That was a vibe.
That was probably one of my best ones. Some of my best pieces of work.
Hungry.
What about Sasha?
Love you, Sash. Love you, Sash. Braden Horn's next biggest thing, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out for that guy. He'll be knocking on your door.
Smell like sardines.
And sweating balls.
He needs
on a Friday.
He needs extra. He needs extra.
Friday.
Yeah, look, man. There's a lot. It's one of those things where it's hard to pinpoint because each transformation is so different to the other.
Yeah.
I mean, I've trained people through divorces. I've trained people through court hearings. I've trained people through losing their jobs, redundancies, opening businesses, closing businesses, and them still be able to achieve, their goals. And it's broad, man. But as long as you know that you've had some sort of input, I mean, fuck, your job's done.
And you've done all these hours and you've accomplished so much, and you've got Mikey under you, and you've had all these before and afters. What's the next 5-year plan, 10-year plan? World domination.
ARTP, can you guys hear me? If you want to know my honest opinion, my goal for the next 5 years is I want to change the statistics of personal trainers failing in the first 12 months. I believe now that I have the necessary skill set, and I hope Mike can back me on this, but I believe in myself that I can now help trainers survive their first 12 months, give them the necessary tools in order for them to know how to do it by themselves, so that in the times for the years to come, they know what to do. I want to change that statistic, even if it's by 1%, but I want to be able to say that I've been able to change the Australian personal training landscape in some way, shape or form. I want to have dominance over Sydney. What I mean by that is I want HPPT to expand into other fitness first, and then my goal in the next 5 years, man, is to have HPPT on a national level where I'm helping coaches being mentored and teaching them the ways in which to survive and be the best coach they can possibly be. So yeah, man, it's a big 5 years ahead. I appreciate you. Thank you.
We can honestly say now Jackson would probably feel the same way, that he's owes a little bit of his success to you.
100%.
But let's talk about me. Like how, what?
Just lost all the attention. Special guest, Michael Stevens.
Tell the listeners about CMS and how, like, what has he done? Like, how's he changed HBPT? Gloat, please. This is where you say good things.
Plenty of refunds. What a vibe. What a fucking vibe.
If Mike if it comes up with a business slogan, it'll be what a vibe CMS. I mean,
global. I'm taking it global.
Mike has taken on everything to such a level that I mean, it's actually been beautiful to watch, man. And what I mean by that is, I mean, you came to me as a blank canvas, and you know, for your first few weeks, you're sort of running around like a headless chicken, as most of them do. But once you settled and understood the game, you have very quickly made it yours. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, man.
Thanks,
it's been
brother.
very cool to watch you sort of grow and adapt. And are you there yet? Probably not. Are you close to it? I think 100% you are, man. I think once you get this refund stuff sorted out, you'll be fine. But
He also got a lot better once he became friends with me.
mate, 100%, man.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
mate, your work ethic. You're the first. You're the second guy in after me. You'll be you're the first guy to leave. Past 6 p.m. But your work ethic, how you are with your clients, how you interact with people on the gym floor, I think is second to none, man. And I've told you, but I think you'll go very, very. I think both of you will go very, very far in this industry as long as you keep doing what you're doing and staying humble and staying in your lane. And I'm excited for you both.
Thanks, bro.
I
And
really,
I guess
really appreciate it. I didn't set that up on purpose at all.
It's just
well,
150
going
bucks.
a bit more into that, what's it like working with us? What do you reckon?
To all the listeners out there, you know what, man. I've been lucky to work in two great clubs, Bond Street and Bondi. Both of them have had amazing trainers and groups. Prior to COVID, Bondi Platinum was like I said, it was a coffee club. It was a very dominating trainer base that had been there for 10, 15, 20 years. And I feel like now a lot of them most of them have moved on, God bless. But I feel like now we are the face and the future of Bondi Platinum, and I feel like I believe that our work ethic will set the standards to how Bondi Platinum will go over in the next 5, 10, however many years. And I think it's really important for us to really lead from the front and make sure that we not only respect the jersey but respect the workplace and the trainers that have come through and have set the pillars as to how a Bondi Platinum trainer should be. And I don't say that in a wanker way, because I mean, like, there's many amazing gyms out there, but to the likes of David Driscoll and Paul Stevens and David Welsh and Dragon and your Amandas and Aurelians and Mussers, I mean, they set the standard of how a trainer at Bondi Platinum is. And
Not only that, man. Like Bondi Platinum has to be the busiest club in Sydney.
It is, man.
Like it is.
It is. I think nationwide, I think Bondi Platinum is doing more swipes than the whole of fucking Victoria.
I had someone approach me on the gym floor like a couple of days ago, and they were like, "Is the gym always this busy?" I looked at the time; it was 12:30. I was like, "This is fucking quiet." See me in 3 hours.
And you guys are a vibe, man. Like, and
Thank
it's. I mean, I like most people in there, but having you guys in there, man, makes especially in those times where it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, I'd love a lie down, and then I look over to Jackson, and he's giving me the finger. It gives me. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna beat this guy to 4 o'clock. It's good fun,
Yeah. No. Look, I like. Fuck, man. I wouldn't be able to get through that job without you guys for sure.
100%.
100%, man. I'd be off that balcony. Shut long. Moving right along.
Right along. Okay. So we like to finish our show on a little segment called Shit You See in the Gym. I'm going to start us off with some that I've seen on the internet because I can't pinpoint one. There's just been so fucking many this week. I actually seen a video of someone walking their dog on the treadmill. As in, like, they had the dog on a lead, the dog was on the treadmill, and they were off the treadmill.
Yeah. That's fucked.
I'm waiting for the day that we see that in our gym, actually.
I guess what I've seen. Oh fuck! Yesterday, bro. I mean, you guys will know who I'm talking about. Half Bosu Ball man.
He is a star member. He is a star member.
And bro, he was on the half Bosu Ball.
Yeah, dude.
And he had one foot on it, and then he had the other foot on a wall ball or like a slam ball, and he had a what are they called? The big long log things.
Yeah, no,
Vipers or something?
Vipers, yeah. And he was going like this and like this and just twirling around. It was fucking cooked, man. And he was sweaty as fuck.
Yeah, man.
Made a puddle in the middle of the gym floor. I was like, fuck.
And then leaves.
Bro. Yeah.
But I'm just like, some of the stuff is so good. I'm like, why haven't I seen this yet? Why? I mean, I just use a barbell and dumb and some plates. I'm like, this guy's like a Cirque du Soleil. I'm like, I'm behind. He'd be up there, man. I mean, he's.
What have you seen in the gym? Well, not just this week, but overall.
The best thing I've ever seen, man. Where was this? I think it was in Bond Street. I saw a guy use the lat pull down as a squat. And what I mean by that is he held onto it and then he'd squat down onto the bench and squat back up. I think from memory, there's the queen of Bond Street, Janice, if you're listening. I think from memory, she went over and fucking gave this guy a hiding. He never came back. But yeah, man, squatting on a lat pull down I've seen. Deadlifting is always an interesting one. What else is there?
My favorite.
Squatting. I mean, like, there's nothing more that fucking irritates me than personal trainers getting their clients to squat on a BOSU ball. Like, you may as well put petrol on concrete and tell them to fucking run. Like, so welcome to today's session. I thought what we'll do is we'll tear both your ACLs and then I'll see you in 12 months' time.
Let's not talk about what we've seen personal trainers do.
We can go into that. I've got plenty of time.
Do you remember the one where it was like throw a ball and he would like jump over a piece of tape and catch the ball?
I mean, like, just fuck off.
I seen a personal trainer put speed cones down and do agility drills, like in the middle of the gym floor.
I love that.
That's a vibe.
There's nothing, but I just don't understand. I just don't see the point in a fucking BOSU ball.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like, there's no way that motherfucker's still making BOSU balls. They're surely, like, they're so pointless. But, like, why would you squat on something that's full of air and unstable? It's fucking mind-blowing.
Anyway, fuck, that's just about it.
I think we're going to wrap up the show there, guys. Is there anything you want to add, Harry? Harry's hiring, by the way.
Yeah, man. If you're coming into the industry, you're coming into the game, be prepared to fucking work. Do it from a place of love, honesty, and respect. Know who the trainers are. Know who the trainers in Sydney are. Know who you are coming into. Be honest with yourself. Work hard. Keep learning. And man, if you ever need me, HBPT on Instagram.
Yeah, where can they find you? What can they do to get in touch with you?
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm the HBPT on Instagram. I'm the HBPT on Facebook. If you need anything, if you need any help, you want to know how to take a business to the next level, I would love to be a part of it. Hit me up.
If you're up and coming personal trainer, and you
man,
upskill.
Let's chat. Education is key. I'm still learning to this day, man. It's a constant evolution game, and if you're obsessed to be the best, you're never satisfied. You're always learning. So be humble, and work fucking hard.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on to the Coach Cast, Harry.
That was good fun.
Massive vibe. So we're going to call it that. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode.
And we'll see you on the next one.
See you next week.
Ciao.
Thank you for listening to the Coach Cast.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Coach Cast and Coach Mike Stevens.
And if you guys are interested in any sort of coaching at all, please DM us. Mine is at Coach Jackson Mansoudi. If you have any feedback, please DM us as well. We would love that.
Thank you.